Alright, so we're up.
Yep, we are live.
Alrighty.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen who are still awake? This is One Pac. If you've seen a speedrun of a Pac-Man game, you've probably only seen the sequel to this game, but this game is arguably a more entertaining speedrun. It's way different than the sequel, so you'll get to see a bunch of stuff. But yeah, let's get started. Are we ready for a countdown?
Countdown when you're ready.
Alrighty. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty, so right off the bat you'll see that Pac-Man steals moves from other video game characters like Sonic. So there's this little rev roll that moves you forward. That's not the primary tech for this run. The primary tech is something called zigzagging. So if you've ever seen a run of a Crash Bandicoot game, you probably know what zigzagging is. But basically how it works is you move faster in diagonal directions for no particular reason. And so you want to be moving in diagonal directions as much as possible, but you want to go in a straight line, and so by alternating the diagonals back and forth, you get the boost from moving diagonally and you still travel in a straight line. And the faster you do that, the faster you go, the more time you save. So that basically means I'm just like going ballistic on the D-pad the entire game, and you know, almost breaking my controller. But you know, it's just the way it is. It's actually faster to play this game with 2 analog sticks. You zigzag with both at the same time, but no, nobody does that because it's incredibly awkward. And you have to map the face buttons to the shoulder buttons in order to even make that remotely realistic. Alright, so this is Corsairs Cove, so I'm actually going to be collecting a few things here. There are only a few items that you need to collect to actually be able to beat the game in the first place, which I'll kind of explain a little bit as I go, but for now I'm going to be detouring to get this first letter here. So every level, except for that first one, has 6 letters, and if you use your imagination you might be able to figure out what they spell out. And again, getting these, I don't need to get these to beat the game. It's not a strict requirement. So you may be asking, well, why are you going out of your way to get them? Well, because it sets up for a extremely hilarious glitch that saves an enormous amount of time that I'll explain in a bit. Inputs, hello. Alright. So we're gonna go down here. There's a lot of strawberries in this level. I guess kind of just like more of an intro tutorial level. Alright, and also if anyone hasn't seen this run and has any questions about what the heck I'm doing, just ask in chat and I'll do my best to answer it. Alright, so there's my last letter. So getting all the letters lets me get to a bonus round, and bonus rounds are just like kind of ways to rack up points and stuff, and so they're kind of a little fun thing to do, but they're actually like the most broken place in the game. And they're broken because you can leave them. So normally, to end a bonus round, you have to either collect everything, have the timer run out, or die. You can also exit level, except the devs clearly didn't intend for you to do that, because if you do exit level, the game still thinks you're in a bonus round. And so if you do one of those other actions that would end a bonus round in a different level, you trick the game into thinking you just beat the bonus for that level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit level out of this bonus. And since it's a marathon, I'm going to run over to this level here. So this level is a cool level, but it has nothing in it that I want. So I'm just going to run off the side and die. And magical things will happen. So run off the side, and boom, level is beaten. So I have just entirely skipped that level because of quality programming. And so now we'll backtrack and do this level. Normally in record attempts you just enter this level right away because it's faster on the overworld, but then if you die in this level you reset, and it's not worth the 15 seconds in a marathon, so we'll just do the levels in the slow order. Alright, so you may have noticed actually in the last level I also picked up a key. And so those are the items that I actually need to collect. So the story of this game is that Pac-Man's friends and family are throwing him a birthday party for his 20th birthday. Like, the full name of this game is Pac-Man World 20th Anniversary. So they're throwing a birthday party, and they all get kidnapped while he's on his way home from work, and so it's his job to save them. And so to save them, you need keys. So they're all trapped in cages, kind of all around. And so you need to get a key to open each cage. And it's actually saving your friends, which is the trigger to actually beat the game. So if you just go through this game casually and you don't save them and you get to the final boss, you just won't be able to fight him, no matter how hard you try. And this was actually confirmed. We had like someone tasked getting behind where the final boss is supposed to be without actually getting what you're supposed to do, doing what you're supposed to do, and the zone isn't there. So there's just no feasible way to get to him really. Alright. So now we climb up this section. The point of this boat is really annoying on this version of the game because it's really easy to die, but if you're not bad, it's really easy to live. There's a couple version differences that I'll mention and explain why I'm running the American version as opposed to other versions. Also, shoutouts to Puka from Dig Dug, who makes a nice cameo appearance in this game. Alrighty, now we're off to an actually challenging level. Manek Mines. This is one of the longer levels in the game. Already off to a good start. This level is actually like 2 levels in one because there's another level planned for this kind of area of the game called Kooky Crypt, but they cut it in development and basically took what they had and squished it into this one. So this level actually has two mazes in it, which is relevant for 100%. It's the only level that has 2, and it's because of that reason. It's because kind of they just had like 3/4 of 2 levels, and they thought, we'll just put these together. Why the heck not? And so if I can avoid it, I want to avoid taking damage in like the first like 60% of this level, because it'll save me a few seconds. Alright, let's see if this box screws me. Ooh, it didn't. Okay. So something I haven't mentioned yet, because it fortunately hasn't come up yet, and hopefully won't, is the ledge physics in this game are probably among the worst in any game I've ever played, because there's a phenomenal mechanic in this game where you can jump not far enough to make the jump, but too far to grab the ledge. Also, you can get your inputs eaten. And so when you do a jump at that exact wrong distance, you like hit the ledge with your chin and you just bounce off of it and die. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So trying to play around that is really annoying. So sometimes you will either have to zigzag really hard on a particular jump, or you will have to zigzag slightly less in order to aim for the ledge grab. And so we have a little bit of swimming here. This is the only swimming in this run. You can even zigzag the swimming. Like nothing is safe from zigzagging in this game. It speeds you up a little bit when you're swimming horizontally, but the real boost is when you swim vertically. Alright, so this ending section is a bunch of damage boosts that save a lot of time. I'm going to try to actually skip the first one by doing this stupid jump here. Got it, okay. So now I have, in theory, more shots at the last damage boost in this area, which is the actually important one, because it saves an enormous amount of time. Okay, so this one here. So there's a key up and to the left of me. And easy every time, get the key. So that skip saves about a minute, because normally you have to open this banana door to lower that platform. And then you can just rev up there, but to get the banana you have to come all the way over here, activate the junk in this maze, grab it, run all the way back, and then get it. And so just damage boosting up there is way faster. Also shoutouts to Chomp Chomp, aka Pac Franker Z. Alright, so you may notice I'm not actually beating these levels, and if you've played this game before, you may think that that might be a problem, seeing as there's certain things in the game that are placed so to prevent you from actually progressing further. So normally you're supposed to beat every level before like one of these overworld barriers to get it to disappear, but despite what the game says, that's actually optional. So we'll get to see that in a little bit, but for now this is Space Race, a common fan favorite level for this game, one of the best levels in this game. Really good theme, good music, just overall good ambiance. So again, I'm getting the these Pac-Man letters here because I want to set up that glitch again where I can skip a level by dying in it. And as you can as it will become quite apparent, that saves a lot of time because it's like, it takes me, I don't know, 30 seconds or so in each one of these levels to get these letters, and then I just enter a level that normally takes 2 minutes and just die and beat it instantly. So it saves quite a bit of time, and since I do that 4 times in this run, it adds up to quite a bit. Alright, so this wall you can actually bounce on if you line it up properly. There we go. And then the ceiling here isn't solid, so you just fall down behind this door and get that letter. And then we're just going to use this wall again and go over this thing here, because why not? Alright, let's see what kind of cycles we're dealing with at the end here. Okay, this is not good at all. Okay, we're going to play this super safe. Okay, 1 health here is bad. I really don't want to get hit here, especially since this is a marathon. Oh, this is bad. I think we can make this work. Okay, until I got the dot. Alright, good. We in there. You don't use the trick every second level because there are levels that have keys in them, and I can't skip those. And I also can't skip levels that have friends in them, otherwise I literally cannot beat the game. So this level has a key and a friend in it, so I can't skip it, otherwise beating the game is impossible. Alright, so this is far out, so if I die here, that's really bad, so let's just not die here. This is not a hard level, so if I die here I'll be even more sad. But we won't die, because I'm good at this game. Okay. There's a really cool strat I could do up here, if I was ballsy, that saves like 3 seconds, but if I missed it, I would lose like a minute and a half. And so I'm just not going to go for it. It's skipping that chain of pack dots. You can just jump straight down here with a really good jump. But if you miss it, you die, and as I have already articulated, you don't want to die in this level, because that's bad. Alright. So this blue switch gives me the key, and then I can just save the third friend at the top, which is Professor Pac. And here he is. Alright, so I mentioned earlier that you're supposed to beat levels to make the overworld barrier disappear. So for the first barrier, I need to beat the first 11 levels, and I have very, very obviously not done that, so it's still there. But we're just going to skip it, because that's way faster and easier anyways. So here's this wall. Shoutouts to this wall for being, you know, impenetrable. So what we're going to do is we're just going to walk into this corner, clip into the railing, tap down a few times, slide over, and just jump around the thing. Easy every time. And then we enter this level, and we'll just skip this one, because this level is slow and has nothing in it that I want. And just death abuse, and we are on our merry way. Also, I want to shout out Nitrovsky, who helped me find the method for that skip, like less than 48 hours after I ran this game at AGDQ and lost over 2 minutes to that trick doing a really inconsistent method. You know, classic video games. Alright, so this is the first level in the funhouse, clowning around. If you're still on some substance from 420, this is an extremely good time to look at the stream, because you might have some good visions or of sorts. A lot of bright spinning things. I'm sure that bodes well. Alright, so this level actually flows pretty nicely. It's one of my favorite levels in this category because it's really smooth. And I'm getting letters here. This level, again, it doesn't have stuff in it I need, but I need to beat it anyways because I need to beat it to be able to get to the next level. And it's a really short level and the letters are not really that far out of the way, so I'm just going to get them. Skip the ledge grab there, nice. Perfect stairs room. Alright, let's see. So this bit of the scenery is solid, and so I'm just going to bounce on it and get over here. Get this banana for a little bit further. Right here, actually. So these stairs, you're supposed to lower them with a couple switches, but that's slow, and the stairs aren't that far away, and zigzagging is overpowered as hell. So we're just gonna, well, we're gonna get stuck on the scenery first. Now we're just gonna jump to it. So shout outs to this invisible floor for being there for unknown reasons. Alright. So just clowning around again. I got all the letters, so now I can skip another level. This run is actually pretty good. This is like a minute behind world record. And world record in this category is extremely good, so that's not half bad. Seeing as I've died and did a slow route. Alright, so again, Under Pressure. This level has a banger of a soundtrack, but it's one of the longer levels in the game and has absolutely nothing in it, so see you later. But coming up next is the best level in the run. Good old Down the Tubes. So this level is kind of a giant labyrinth. It's definitely the most creative in terms of like puzzle solving. Now creative doesn't necessarily mean good, but it is creative. So you're intended to swim through a really long area to get a bell, and that bell lets you open a door with a key behind it. And you need that key to save your friend. But what we're going to do instead is we're just going to clip through the door. And this trick is notorious because it's hilariously inconsistent. Now, the method we used to use for this trick was 100% consistent, but it involved opening and closing the disc tray on your console, and we decided, that probably shouldn't be allowed anymore. So here we go. Let's see how long this takes. If I go over estimate, it's because of this trick. So you just kind of like... The setup for this is a little janky, but you kind of just clip into the door a little bit. And then just kind of hold upright and walk through it. This isn't going to work. Maybe it will. That was actually pretty good. So, I want to avoid this checkpoint so I can death abuse back into the main room. Because if I didn't, the water in this room would rise and I'd have to swim all the way back. Alright, so this is Pac Jr. He's our fourth friend. And again, the moment they're free, I can just pause and exit level. So I'm actually holding start after I clear their dialogue, and that will pause the game on the first frame that I gain control. And then I can just immediately exit the level. Alright, so in record attempts, I would be getting the Pac-Man letters in this level, because it's about 25 seconds faster. But then it means I have to play the next level without dying, and the next level is extremely difficult. Or I can just get jumps dropped. That also works. And so that's not a good idea to do in a marathon. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the letters in the next level instead, which, as I said, loses about 20 seconds. But it's way safer. So like in normal 90% attempts, I always consider this the hardest level because getting the letters in this level and going fast is difficult. Going fast without getting letters is still fairly challenging, but it's not nearly as hard. Alright, so I'm supposed to make that platform move up and down, but I'm just going to clip through the floor here, or fail to clip through the floor. There we go, now I'll clip through the floor. And then, that hit isn't great, but it could have been worse. Whew, that was close. If I got hit there, that actually would have been not very good at all. Although I could have dealt with it. Some more rotating platforms to climb. So here's a nice little sequence break that you can try at home, ladies and gentlemen. Bounce off the box and hold up and save 15 seconds. You're welcome. It actually makes that section easier if you do that skip. So 2 health here is actually perfect. I don't think I'm going to beat this steam, so I'm going to wait for it. I totally could have beaten it. Alright, so coming up at the top of this section is a very difficult 3D jump that I'll probably fail, but I'm going to go for it because it's extremely swag and saves a bunch of time. Never mind, it's free. Alright, so you bounce on the inside of that rotating platform and then go around and bounce again on the outside of it to just skip right up to the top. I'm going to hit that checkpoint because I need to run across this section to get this bell. And I death abuse to go all the way back. Because platforming that correctly is dumb. So, also don't forget that key, which is something that new runners to the game often do. Alright. So if I do this right, this platforming will look really good, and this is already a bad start. Okay, I'm still good. So it looks like I have to wait on these platforms, right? But actually, we're just going to get right on top of them. You skip right to the end of the level. Alright, so now, everyone's favorite level, casually, the nightmare that is Spin Dizzy. This level is extremely unfun if you're not doing speed strats. Luckily I am doing speed strats, so it is slightly less unfun. So I'm going to be getting letters here, because I want to use that glitch again that I explained, but to skip a later level. So, alright, I'm going to try to get back without death abusing here, because although my life count isn't, like, super bad, I'm going to get extra lives in this level. Okay, that's good. So just faster to death abuse back here, but since my life count isn't super high, I'll just do the platforming back. I haven't mentioned game overs yet, but if you game over in this game, you go back to the last point you saved at, and if you've been paying attention, or even if you haven't been paying attention, I have saved a grand total of 0 times. So if you game over in this game, it's just over. So don't. Is my word of advice to all aspiring runners of this game. Just don't game over. Although I have won a race in this game where I game over 20 minutes in, because of memes. Alright. So this section is annoying. You're supposed to make those hammers go up and down, and then you go underneath them. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go out of bounds instead, because that's infinitely easier. So we're just going to grab the back wall and jump around an invisible wall, and we have skipped that section. There's another invisible ceiling there, but I'm not going to show it off. Just because gotta go fast. Alright, so this section, you're supposed to make all these platforms rotate. But I'm going to rev down here and bounce up here, and skip making all of them rotate. So every single one of these platforms is supposed to be turning, and it makes the platforming here extremely, extremely dumb. So by not having them do that, this becomes way easier. There's a checkpoint there on the Japanese and PAL versions of the game, and there's not one on the US because they decided that their checkpoint placement in this level was appropriate. And oh, well, that's a really bad death. That's like 40 seconds. But their checkpoint placement in this level is, you know, really spot on, and that will really kind of manifest itself near the end of this level. Okay, let's not fail this skip again. Because it's not hard. I just jumped off the side the first time. So the side of this hut isn't solid, so I'm just gonna jump back around there and get the letter. And save a bunch of time. That skip actually only saves about 5 seconds. But it's cool and not hard, so... Alright, so again, that whole section with no checkpoint. So here's the checkpoint. And then, ooh, that section was really hard. Let's give you another checkpoint. Whew. Really well earned there. So I don't know what they were thinking with the checkpoint placement there. Clearly they weren't. So, I don't know. Also, I made the early cycle here, which is nice. Okay. Now this last set, I'm just going to go out of bounds, because I can actually move with the platforms here as opposed to jumping against them. And jumping against these is no fun at all. Okay, so we have all the letters, we have the key, so we're just going to go up here and save our 5th friend, which is Baby Pac. There's little Baby Pac. And then we're going to do a big boy skip. And by big boy, I say that in multiple meanings, because A, it's hard, and B, if I fail it, I crash the game. So, that's always fun. So let's see what happens. So there's another one of those overworld barriers I have to skip. This one is substantially more difficult to skip, but here's to hoping. Damn, I thought I was going to get the clip instantly. That would have been so good. What the heck? Come on. So I won't be talking much for this trick because it's hard. Okay. Why did I jump there? Okay. I'm in bounds, okay. So, you have to stay in the railing out of bounds, and that's not easy to do, because it's not very wide. It's only about half as wide as you are. Okay. There we go. Alright, so that skip saves about 5 minutes. And is pretty good. Again, if you die there, the game crashes, so... It's pretty nervous. You can prevent the crash, but the game does crash there if you die. Alright. So now we're into the final hub of the game. Hub 6. This one probably takes the cake in my book for the best kind of ambiance. Combined with like the soundtrack and like kind of just how the level looks. This level in particular is very good at that. It's very spoopy. And so coming up here is underground skip, so the cave under here is loaded, so I'm just gonna jump into it and save like 15 seconds. I'm gonna get this chrome ball because it lets me run under these things. If you don't have this, every single one of these things hurts you. Alright, no spider. Okay, good. If you time your jump wrong under that spider, he spikes you into the hole and you die. And it's extremely depressing. Alright. So now I'll take the climb out of here. Get this full health pickup because you take a lot of damage. Alright, so here's the last key, and I'm going to skip back to it. Oh, backup strat. Double backup strat? Alright, I guess we're just going to do like the quadruple backup strat. Just get back here, use this guy, get right back out, and continue on our merry way. Alright. I want to shout out the world record for this game where I died like right there, like an idiot. Right, this area is really laggy, and if you hit the background scenery in this game, you just stick to it, which is really annoying because then you just die, even though you're, you know, zigzagging like a madman, you have gotten stuck on the scenery and it's all over. Okay. So that's Creepy Catacombs done. It's gonna be like a high 32 if I play the end of this well. I think. Maybe a low 33. Which is still pretty good. Alright, Grave Danger. Let's see if I can get this weird jump at the start. Damn. It was close. So you can, okay, I don't want to hit that jump. So you can jump through the fence there if you bounce off the guy. I got it, I just didn't get the ledge grab because of video games. Alright. So if you play this game, if you've never played this game before, you'll probably die in this level a lot just because the depth perception here is just awful. It's extremely easy to die. Like here, you have no idea where this cloud is in relation to the background. Your shadow doesn't appear over it. I just jump behind it. Well, I honestly couldn't even tell you the last time I died there, but that's a really short death, so who cares? Hello, grab the ledge, please. Thank you. Okay, so these are like all the way up towards the screen. On the Japanese version, they fixed the camera angles in this level a lot, so that doesn't happen. So you can actually see where the heck you're going. Yes, I ran this at AGDQ 2017. Alright, so this bell door, yeah, we're just gonna skip that. Because why the heck not? We're gonna rev across these clouds, save Miss Pac-Man. She's got a bunch of hearts. Because she loves me. We're just gonna exit this level and now we go to fight the final boss of the game, Pac-Man. Here we go. So this guy works in 3 phases. First phase, he throws dots at you, you throw him back. Second phase, you just hit a bunch of buttons on the floor. And third phase, you roll into him. So shoutouts to the organ in this soundtrack, because it's extremely good. Alright, he's taking a lot of steps, that's bad. Ooh, almost hit that ghost. There are no ghosts in this fight on the other versions of the game, so it's substantially easier. I'm gonna fire 1 dot here, because I need, I don't want to lose the time, okay. Okay, that's good. So that's phase 1. Now phase 2. You're supposed to wait for stairs to come up to hit him, but his hitbox goes really low. Low enough to hit it from the floor. Like that. Oh, he's gonna kill me. Okay. One thing I haven't said is if you die in this fight, you have to start over. Because I don't know why, but just don't die here. I did die here at AGDQ, and I was very sad. Okay. This is not good. Okay, so that's how you're supposed to hit him, the stairs. I thought I would show that off for the fans. Also, it's like impossible to die from getting hit too much in this fight because your friends heal you the whole time. Okay, now I just have to roll into him when he's rolling. If you run to the right, it makes him roll more from what I've noticed. Alright, time is coming up very shortly. And time. So I got a 32.59 on my end for that run. It's actually pretty good for a resetless. Alright, I'm gonna shut up and just let this cutscene play. This is the best cutscene in the history of the PlayStation 1.
It's so unfair. You ruined everything. Nobody loves a ghost.
Pac-Man shows no mercy. Alright, so that's any percent in this game. So that was, I got my time as a high 32. World record is 29.25. I'll talk a little bit more about kind of this game as I play the outtakes since the donation incentive was met for that. so I will play the outtakes, which are just kind of stupid cutscene bloopers, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit more about this game. Alright, so like I mentioned, record is 29:25. This run was 32:59. Just to kind of put in perspective how severely underran this game is, this was just like a reset list I did for a marathon, and that was almost 6 minutes better than the second place time. And you could see I died in that run like 3 or 4 times. And it's still, the second place time is 38:47. So more people need to run this game. If you do want to run this game, I will personally teach anyone who wants to learn the run. I'll teach them anything and everything they want to know. On the one condition that they actually complete a run of the game and get a time on the leaderboards. And if you want to learn more about this run or any of the other, if you're interested in any other like Pac-Man games to speedrun, we have a community Discord, and you can message me on Twitter or Twitch or Discord or wherever the heck, and I can send you an invite if you're interested.
Professor abduction, take 2. Marker. Action.
No, you do want to run this game, Damage King Kirby. It's extremely fun. Except for the part where I'm going to have carpal tunnel when I'm 25.
Landing, take 9. Marker. And action. That's a wrap.
Alright, so that's the outtakes. They're just really stupid. I'll play the credits real quick because the credits don't actually manual play, so I'll just play the credits as we kind of switch over. But thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for everyone who's organizing this marathon and for the chance to do this run, because I haven't really done this run in a large capacity in any event in like a year and a half, and no one else runs this game. So I'm glad I got to show it off and hopefully get some more people interested in it. And like I said, if you are interested in it, I'll teach you the run, and we have a Discord. Just message me if you want an invite. But that's all I have. So I think next up is Partners in Time. So stay tuned for that, because that'll be a really cool run. But thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you for doing the run.